Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTBase.com. Welcome to our weekly COT review. Today we're going to be analyzing the 41st Commitments of Traders Report of 2021, and as we always do, we shall start off by looking at the largest changes in commercials positions. Before we jump to the review, a reminder for those of you who are new to this data, this analysis, here at COTBase.com we offer a lot of educational material, not only in written format, but we have some very useful videos as well that will guide you through the analysis process and help you better understand how you can benefit from knowing what traders are doing. Okay, back to the review, and starting off with our first market, the feeder cattle market, where we have a 26% change, as you can see the number over there on the table. In commercials net positions, and this is based on a 52-week look back period. Now on the chart with red you can see commercials, and that's the change size. That is larger than average, but I wouldn't really consider it to be that, surprisingly large or anything too special. It is bearish, so I mean that's good, especially after seeing some strengthening in the market and then the stagnating week that we had. So it does suggest that we may see a bit of a pullback in the market. But of course, as we always do, we also analyze the extreme in the market, which, as you may see, was actually pretty bullish 2 weeks ago, a week ago, and that kind of ignited the rally. So that's something you should keep in mind. This can easily continue on, and this, just to give you a few examples of bearish COT Extreme. So that's definitely far away, which means that we can achieve this rally that was signaled by the COT Extreme for the next couple of weeks, month ahead of us. Nevertheless, of course, a full few days pullback based on the COT change signal can easily occur, and that's what the signal is suggesting. So the next market we have for this review is orange juice, where we have a 23% change, which is of course a smaller number than 26%, but if you look at the chart, that is actually larger if you compare it to the past 1 year. So especially the past, let's say 4 or 5 months. So it's something I think worth mentioning, and that's this is the beauty about COT analysis, that these charts that you see under the price representing the net positions of these traders, they're not derived from price. Okay, so they are technical representations of this fundamental data, but they're not derived from price, and I think that's a key aspect of COT analysis, which is really good. So this bullish COT change signal is coming after a decline that's been going on for quite some time. And if we jump to the 5 years chart, then we're not surprised that bearish picture that we have right now, or this downtrend that's been going on, is in place, because as you may see, sometime around September we had a significant bearish extreme. I'm not saying all time. You can see on this 5 year chart we had even greater extremes, but still it was there, and we talked about it and remarked it. So it took its course. As you can see, the market has gone lower, and as it's going lower, of course, traders are shifting their positions accordingly. Now, one might ask, when will we get a bullish COT Extreme? Well, you just got to go back, and these this territory over here between 2018, 2019, early 2020 is actually a good example of what a bullish COT Extreme looks like. And by the way, it's a good example that you shouldn't be too excited about it, because it can easily be in place for many weeks, as you can see, even years, before the market starts to react, and that doesn't necessarily show a very exciting dynamic movement in the price. But that's what happened here. So we had that bearish extreme. The market has gone lower. Is this time to go buying? Well, the change signal suggests we may see a bit of a rise early next week, but the COT Extreme analysis says caution may be advised. Okay, sorry, not lumber, but wheat. Wheat is our next market. We're going in order, of course. 19% change in commercials positions. Let's go back to the 1 year chart. So that's the change size being larger than average, but again, nothing huge. It is bullish, suggesting further strengthening, let's say the first part of next week. Moving on to the 5 years chart, here you go. You can see that we are more or less in between the two major extremes. You can see this wonderful, very clear and visible bearish COT Extreme from July of 2017 just at that top, and then we had this very significant bullish extreme igniting this rally, and we're more or less in between those two, so not much from the COT Extreme, at least in the Chicago wheat, of course. Because if we move on to large speculator COT Extreme analysis, you can see that the Minneapolis wheat, which is wheat, again, just a different kind, there we have an all-time bearish COT Extreme. So how interesting is that? And, you know, it's clear. There's not much that I need to explain, especially if you've been following my COT reviews. You know, we have a very, very strong market. And as the market is, you know, reaching new records, we have this bearish extreme. Now, one thing I always tell you, and I try to repeat this as much as I can, these all-time COT extremes, which of course mean that in the entire COT history of this market, and you can easily check it at cotbase.com by just clicking that max button. You can see that it goes back to 1995. We have not seen traders at such levels. So that is a huge extreme. But this does not mean that we cannot reach an even greater extreme. So I think that's the only remark I'd like to put out there. Of course, if your systems are giving you, you know, trading opportunities to the downside, you can, you know, rest assured that the report, the COT report, is backing you. So yeah, that's how you should use it. Coffee will be the next market with a 256 report extreme in large speculators. You can see that over there. It is a bearish COT extreme, of course. You can see what happened to the market when we were at those extremes in the past. And yeah, we are getting there. Like going back to this 5 years chart to 2016 November, there you go. We had an even greater bearish extremes, or somewhere over there. Very significant extreme. And last but not least, let's open Mexican peso, 239 report extreme over here. This of course is a bullish COT extreme, suggesting stronger, higher prices in the medium to long run, but caution is advised. We had that bullish extreme for quite some time. We have actually seen the market, you know, bottom out over there. It's I'm not saying it's a bad signal, but we're still there. It just suggests that, hey, market, go on. And of course, as the market rises, I would expect traders to shift their positions accordingly, and we'd be aiming for something like that for a good shorting opportunity. We'll see. But anyways, this is all for this review. Don't forget, here at cotbase.com, of course, you can analyze all the markets that are available, all the newest COT report types, other data types. You can dig deep by analyzing specific data sets. If you are somebody trading a specific market, let's say the British pound, you can, you know, select British pound and then go deep in your analysis and select any data that you're interested in, anything really, and we chart it for you. You can, of course, you know, take screenshots, download them, export the data. There's all sorts of ways to analyze here at cotbase.com. And by the way, let me just mention to you that COTBase Pro Indicator is everything that you see here on the website, but you can use it in your NinjaTrader trading platform. And the ICOT Intraday Indicator, something very exciting we developed after many years, is getting into the details. So going into the micro zone, it's of course not exactly the COT data, but we tried our very best to mimic how the COT report looks like, as you can see on the charts below. And these help identify good buying and selling opportunities. There's so many example charts, videos out on our website that will help you understand how you can benefit from the ICOT Intraday Indicator. So for those of you who trade, let's say, as you can see, gold on a 1 minute chart, you can actually benefit from this data set that we offer. Thank you very much for being with me in this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you next time. Take care. Goodbye.